Hello YouTube, welcome back for another video. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different, something new that the channel's never done before. I'm going to be doing a discussion video. Today I want to discuss the top 10 cards I think that are going to be affected by the ban list. Now this list is in no way shaped off of my opinions or what I think is like problematic in the meta or what I don't like. This is just what I think is honestly going to happen. This is not how I would shape the list, but this is what I think is going to happen. I decided to limit myself to 10 cards because there's so many possibilities, and 10 just seems like a good number to start at. Now, out of the changes, I have 4 positive changes, which is cards going to a higher number or off list, and I have 6 negative changes. And I want to start with a negative change. I'm going to go to positive, and maybe at some point do 2 negatives in a row because I have 6. Alright, card number 1, Dante Traveller of the Burning Abyss. Now, I am a PK Fire fan. I like how the deck plays. I think it's a very enjoyable, very skillful deck. At least not in the mirror match, because the mirror match is not even skillful anymore. But like I've been playing this deck lately because cherries and then Farfa just ruins the mirror match and so much. Plus, it's bad against domain monarchs and all that. But I feel like if they're gonna hit this deck because this deck is topping the most out of every single deck right now. And I feel they're going to hit the engine card, which I don't think they should do. I think they should hit Beatrice to 0 and then maybe Seer to 1. But they're going to probably end up hitting Dante like they did in the OCG. I doubt they'll ban it. They could, but I really doubt it. I feel like they're going to put it to 1. I really doubt a semi-limit's going to happen because I don't feel like it would do enough in many people's eyes. So I think 1 is going to be what it's at. They'll probably end up hitting something else too, but I definitely see 1 being the number of copies we'll be able to play. And number 2, I think this is also a pretty obvious one. This is a positive change. I see Massacre Restrict coming back to, or not Massacre Restrict, sorry, Thousand Eyes Restrict coming back to either 2 or 3, more likely 3. It was just taken off last Banlist and has done nothing in this meta. Even with Instant Fusion at 3, all it does in this meta right now is help make Goyos and Infernoids, and even then they don't even always use Thousand Eyes Restrict. It's done absolutely nothing. It can totally come back to 3. It's not in any way, shape, or form broken. And number 3, this is another negative change. Cosmo Dark Destroyer. Cosmos are going to be hit somehow on this next ban list. How are they going to be hit? It's a little iffy right now, but I think the obvious one here is Destroyer. Likely Cosmo Town's going to get it also, maybe Tin Can, but I definitely think Dark Destroyer right now is the most problematic card. It's untargetable, it destroys on summon, has a high level of float, and it's so simple to summon. It's a very powerful card, and it's one of the main reasons Cosmos are as good as they are. This is a very, very obvious hit, I think. And number 4, this is another positive change. This is the only card I actually didn't have the card for, so I've just made a stupid thing right here. Let's see, look. I have the, sorry, my camera's kind of weird, it's kind of weird. It's Debris Dragon. Right now it's at 2, it just went to 2 last ban list. It's a tuner that can revive stuff from grave and let you synchro into dragons only, but it's done nothing, like, forever. I'm pretty sure they're coming back to 3, because usually what they do is if they feel a card's broken, but it's semi-limited, they'll try it at 2, see if it does anything, and if it doesn't, they usually put it at 3. It might come back, it might not, but I think it's very likely going to come back to 3. The card's not seeing any play at all, and there's much more graveyard broken graveyard revival cards. Crane is more broken than Debris Dragon. I just don't think Debris is very, very, very good. And next up, I have another negative change. Pantheism of the Monarchs. Now, I'm actually an advocate of keeping Pantheism at 3 and hitting other things. I think Pantheon's going to go to 1 because this deck is insane. And I'll even admit, I believe every deck should have consistency, and then I think to some degree this was healthy for the Monarchs, but then they kind of, gain advantage every turn. It becomes unfair. But at the same time, this is the card everybody talks about. It brings a very high level of consistency. Both of the new big Monarchs send it to the grave to generate free advantage. It's very, 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 very powerful, and it would definitely hurt the deck by hitting it. OCG currently has it 1, so that's why I think it's going to go 1. I personally think we need to do something about the Ether and Stormforth combo, or maybe just ban Ether and Erebus, because you should not. They're literally generating advantage on summon. It's a +3 if you can summon it. I think that's just stupid for the new Monarchs. but Pantheism is the most likely card to be hit. I see it going to 1. There's more. There's definitely going to be more hits besides Pantheism, but I think Pantheism is the guaranteed one. I think it's going to 1. I don't think that's what should be hit, but I think that's what is probably going to be hit. And since I have 3 negatives and 2 positive less, I'm going to do another negative now. I'm going to do another kind of obvious one, Performer Pal Monkey Board. Now, everybody agrees that 1 card scales are problematic, and to some degree, I can see, but at the same time, I think there's way more problematic cards. Now, this card is searchable. This card is the reason that 2 other cards are limited in the OCG with Joker and then what the hell is his name? Pendulum Sorcerer and some other cards, and like it was one of the cards that was emergency limited, but it's powerful. But it is a 1 card scale, which a lot of people find problematic, and Konami seriously has taken the stance lately that pendulums need to have their power maintained. Even though they keep printing more broken cards, but I feel like Monkey Board is going to be one of those cards that goes to 0. This could result in other cards coming back, potentially Joker to 3, but I feel like this card is definitely probably going to go on the list, even though I don't think it's the most problematic card. Because this is just... It's free advantage on activation. You can break with other stuff, and it is powerful, but I don't think it's necessarily ban worthy. I think Kieran is more of a problem, but I don't think Kieran's going to be hit this list. Probably next list, but not this list. Alright, now I'm going to do a positive change. This one may or may not happen this list. It'll probably happen at least by next list, but this is definitely going to happen in the future. Sengen to 1. It got a Reddit in the OCG, and the effect is different now to where you can't use that monster's effect the same turn. And the red is inevitable. It's gonna inevitably come to North America. Maybe not by this next list, but it's definitely gonna come. If it doesn't come this list, it'll come next list. This card is going to come back to 1 in the future, no questions. The errata will eventually have to come to the North America. I don't know when, but this card is definitely at some point going to 1. Alright, now for a negative change. I see Etel going to 1. Etel is at 1 in the OCG. A lot of decks use it here, including Monarchs, freaking Cosmo. This card lets you special summon a psychic monster directly from your deck. I just feel this is another likely change. It's really not necessarily the most problematic card right now, but it's a very problematic, very splashable card. Not problematic, sorry, wrong word. It's not problematic. No, it is problematic. But I feel like this card's a very strong card. It's splashable in a lot of decks. And Konami's shown with cards like this and Rhoda and all that, that generally if a lot of decks start using them, they're probably going to be hit. So I definitely see this going to 1. And now for my final positive change, and this is a lot of people might be surprised by this, but I think it's so blatantly obvious. Allure of Darkness to 3. It's at 3 in the OCG, where we have a lot of darks in this meta. A lot of people are playing Allure, but not an incredible amount of people. I feel like 2 is a testing ground for this card. A lot of people are playing it for a while. A lot of people still do, but not a lot of people also don't. I feel this card can easily come back to 3. If Blue Eyes gets traded, Dark decks can also get Allure. This also might be a great thing to give Dark Magician to help them for consistency. I totally see this card coming back to 3, and they just put it at 2. So I feel like they're going to see that this card really hasn't done much and put it back to 3. I feel like this is probably the most obvious change positively on the list, with the exception of Thousand Islands Restrict. Because that one's blatantly obvious. And the last card I see is Norden being banned. That's a negative change. I do not think Norden needs to be banned, but there's a lot of cards that are coming out that could make Norden problematic. I think they're going to do more of a preemptive hit with this. This card right now is really not abused in any deck besides Synchro Fusionist. There's in Infernoids, Fusionist are the only 2 decks that really play this card, and Infernoids, it really isn't abuse in Infernoids, it just makes it more fair. Oh, and Mermails also use this card because it's Norden. But there's nothing really breaking this card with cards like Nis coming out and other cards that are gonna be able to do stuff with Norden. See, the thing is with Norden, there's a lot of cards that could potentially come back, but this card really couldn't come. They couldn't come back if this card is around. I don't think Norden's a problem right now. I just think he is going to be hit. It's at 0 in the OCG. They just put it there. I don't think they put their this last list, but they put it there the list before. I don't think this. I don't think this card's problematic, but I definitely see this card going to 0 because it's usable in a lot of decks. It's a 1-card rank 4, but at the same time, it's a shame. It really honestly shouldn't, especially because there's cards like Crane that do the same thing. Although granted, Crane eats your normal summon, and this can be instant fusioned out, but still, like this is not the most problematic card I feel, but I definitely 100% see this going to 1. Alright, so just a little quick recap. For negative changes, I see Dante going to 1, Norden going to 0, Dark Destroyer going to 1, Pantheism going to 1, Monkey Board being banned, and each emergency teleport going to 1. And for positive changes, I see Restrict to 3, Debris Dragon to 3, Sangan to 1, and Allure to 3. Alright guys, thanks for watching. That about does it for my video. Please leave your thoughts below on what you think is going to happen, because I'm actually very interested to see what you guys think. I feel like these changes are the most likely changes to the ban list. We're going to get a lot more than this. I just feel these are the most obvious hits. Like, definitely Monarchs going to get more, BA is going to get more, Cosmo's going to get more, but I feel like these are blatantly the most obvious things that are going to happen. Alright, well, thanks guys for watching. Stay tuned for more videos, and I'll see you guys later.